Hello, lovelies. And we're recording. Just a recording actually in Zoom. I'm just out of class and um sorry about the drilling noise in the back, but I decided to let go of all the perfect lighting and background and sounding and whatnot. So I hope you can hear me. Um and what I'm experiencing these days is um so I just out of class, and this lady who I haven't danced with for a long time, she arrives, and we have a lovely talk. And how much there I'm noticing that it is when we are really the raw, unpolished, unveiled selves um, that we bring out into the world in our rawness, in our fumbling, in our stumbling. And that's where there's this resonance. That's where we um, um, almost about to say the most interesting, rather than a version of myself that has everything together. And now we're going to talk about um, we're going to talk about the polyvagal theory. We're going to work on five um, portals in the body through which we can open, we can breathe, we can create a 360-degree awareness. And I'm not making any jokes about the form. I'm just really raw in rawness coming out here, sharing that how much there is an opinion that I when not in those, when not able to having a 360-degree awareness, when having forgotten to breathe, when everything about gravity, forget it, I haven't sensed her for a week, maybe not a week, but maybe a day. um that's when daring to keep showing up. That's what the practice is all about, right? We keep showing up, we keep, even though we're falling apart. For me, I've been standing there teaching classes throughout these last months, and it's just been like, how am I going to get through this? Yeah. And that's where the practice is. And I just put up a post here on the soul motion embodied leadership training, and the same thing. It's about having a practice for me that I can always return to, that I can always know that it has my back. And it happened to be soul motion here. There's a huge part in Nia as well. The whole way of playing with the form in a simple stance as a wide A stance, or the journey through the 13 joints, my Chinese medicine, my Qigong, the way in which we can, whatever we're doing, we can slow it down by half to really following that tempo in which our life force energy moves. Open floor, I'm falling more and more in love with it. In the open floor, everything is welcomed. There is such I'm not into their core movement resources. I think that's what they call them. um, but frankly said, it doesn't matter what it's called. It's us coming one step closer ourselves. And for me, it's about giving permission to the pleasure and the play. And after I said that, after I voiced that, after I whispered it in some newsletter somewhere, that's where where if you want to give permission, if you want to open, if you want to, if you're worthy of infinite abundance, love, limitlessness, serenity, whatever the big words we could put up, happiness, contentment, whatever we would put up of our desires, in the permission to allow that, to be worthy of receiving it. I, for myself, realized that there were some, I was in my own way and I needed to get that freed. I needed to resolve and dissolve that, unwrap that love, um, to not keep acting from that same place of a disappointment of the past, or a belittling, or the old learned paradigm, um, getting shit done. I'm gonna go out there, and as soon as I push, it's just I'm out of the pleasure. So in a big, deep unlearning and relearning. Um, Coming back to that conversation with that lady before class, um, how much something that I said years back has an effect, has been rippling and marinating and um, bubbling in her, being this constant background music of something that we hear. And what if that was enough? What if a girlfriend of mine said the other day, what if all you were here to do was to teach pleasure and play? And everybody I say that to, they say, I'll come. So that's what I'm doing. That's what embodied permission is. It's about pleasure, it's about play, it's about purpose, it's about rooting, it's about devoting, it's about directing, it's about uniting, it's about finding the resources that is already there. Not to put a positive mindset on everything, but to really allow ourselves to open to both poles, to both ends of the spectrum. And my mentor that I'm working with these days, she said, and you don't fucking move until you feel inspired. Um, and that is said in a whole love bundle of, rather than going for it and being very motivated, I'm just going to go do it, I'm going to create a workshop, and I'm going to make a new website, and how about the book, and I need to like travel again, and da da da. That's all motivation by me, badass, get shit done from A to B. I create results. If not, I'm not a success. All this that has been writing, been the fuel on the ship, so to speak. Um, which is great. I just got exhausted. So I'm inviting us to um, what I call a love illusion, to lean back, to open, to know exactly when to take the foot off the gas and just opening, allow, receive, not needing to get anywhere, but just be. I've heard this a million times, but now really, really have decided to live that extraordinary life of knowing that once this embodied permission has been birthed and come into the world, it is done purely out of utter relaxed, pleasurable, from that juicy place rather than a doing place. Um, and we are gonna make a little universe, under a tree. And I'm really, really looking forward to sharing it with you. And I'm saying this in a very, very slow, skin to skin sensation with my vocal cords really relaxed and allowing the words to find their way out of my mouth rather than having it all together. Um, And here I am, Monday night, sun is shining, and this weekend was uh, a feeling of giving up and had it, and everything is opening up. Yeah, oh, everything is opening up, right? That dance of paradox, that um, having so much to give, and yet at the same time, I'm not done hibernating. Um, so my reach out here is just to open wildly and widely to that which wants to move through, so that whatever we desire can be that pleasurable. Yeah. And then whatever that might be, there's this, I can't have that, or oh, you gotta kind of like get your shit together before that can happen, or whatever that would be, kind of a hidden driver or a loudly shouting beast in behind your ear. However it shows up, that yeah, hey there, welcome aboard. And then being with that discomfort of it, being with that time it takes for it to move through, and and then just allow it to move through us and go back into the formlessness, into the wild river that we are in. Um, for me, freedom is one desire of mine. And even when I say I desire that, there can still be these small little, um, hello, I just love you. Thank you. I love you. And then there's freedom. I feel free already. So there are people that know much more about this. My thing and my the reason why I'm here is to have pleasure and play, and to have the experience of it moving through our bodies. That is my preferred language. It is where I can, yes, I can sit in my heart and feel love, and yes, I can have sister mind meetings with, where it's just like so many pictures and effortlessness and quanta juiciness, and at the same time there's just when it has a run, has its way with me in my body, then there's just this, oof, it feels good, more please, more. And then whatever hidden drivers, I called them, but whatever beastie stuff that comes up, I can't say it's not about, which you just heard, it's not about not inviting it in, it's not to get it in and like really work on it, no, it's just to bring it on board, to then let it back out. um and for me that's easier to do once the body is included, the body is in current, is in the river with me. So I think I'm just gonna ask, what are you giving yourself permission to today? What is, I remember James Brown, that's another one. I meant Brene Brown. um she was I think it was in a book where she writes about her her daughter coming home from school. And it was something about, I can't remember if it was exercise or like something with baking a cake. I can't remember, but remember back in the day when we needed to have permission note from our parents? Yeah, permission to not uh, attend physical exercise or whatever it permission to note, right? So Brene, she decided to write permission notes to herself, and mine when that began before all this and coming up with this name embodied permission. Um, Mine was permission to be vulnerable, permission to take the conversations I usually run from, permission to cry, permission to say I love you more, um, permission to say I'm afraid. And all these permissions are such beautiful unwrappings for that which we really desire to have, which I assume is love in every way, right? So now all that permission got me a little shy and a little vulnerable. Um, and I just got out of class, and we had a class of being skin to skin, beginning with the feet, being skin to skin with the surface of earth. Um, and then we made breath be as our lover. Um, Make breath your lover, I think was what came. Yeah. And I noticed that as soon as I was to step out of class, an amazing class with spine and the skin and the, being skin to skin with your bones and yeah. Um, and then as soon as I was about to step out of class, there was this, it had an effect on my breath. Um, and I'm not saying anything is right or wrong. I just invite us to allow ourselves to become aware of it. Um, and then when I then experienced that, had that experience of a little shallowness of my breath, there was just this, um, can I step out into my night and continue to have uh, breath as my lover? And that might get you juicy, or it might get you shy, it might get you that's way too much. Great. It's just to notice. Just breathing. So thank you, everybody. I keep being stuck in sharing what embodied permission, pleasure, purpose, play is, um, especially when it has to be written or come into a sales page or come into a website or come into a online teaching portal. All these cool tools that I eventually will land to, but right now I'm giving myself permission to go totally face to face, make a video. I didn't even go live on this. I just pressed record and then did it. So that's permission to be old school. Maybe that's my permission note. Have an amazing day, and please write me. Please comment here. What are you giving yourself permission to? What could you allow yourself a little more of? Where are you skin to skin? Um, Often it's like we do know, we know this, but just as I shared to begin with, gravity. I know she's there, but I tend to forget all the time, right? So may you have an amazing night full of permission and food and sunshine. And if you're just waking up, have an amazing day. If you're about to go to bed, I hope your day was amazing. Yeah. So um, just marvel in this video. And if you held on this long, yeah, please feel free to send me a text. What got stirred up? What was enlivened? What has arisen? What is being breathed as we allow the next now to unfold itself? That's all there is. That next now, and it's now. Yeah. Thank you, lovely.